This image was painted in 1872 by John Gast. The image is showing manifest destiny. Manifest destiny is the idea that God had given Americans the entire continent so that they would be able to settle Western lands. Since Western terrain had never been settled by Americans before, much of it was difficult to travel through. A trip to the West on average took between 5 to 6 months due to the difficult terrain that they had to travel through. This painting shows westward expansion. As you can see, the left side of the painting is much darker than the right side. The illustrator designed this painting so the western, or the unsettled side, would be much darker because settlers and new inventions hadn't arrived yet, and the settlers hadn't traveled there prior to the formation of the Oregon Trail. The Oregon Trail enabled settlers to travel more efficiently. The image also shows the new technology that was brought over to the West. Some of the new technologies included steamboats, steel plows, and trains. The woman in the middle of the image symbolizes America due to her beauty and the fact that she is holding a book, which is supposed to symbolize the knowledge that Americans brought over to the West. The woman in the middle of the painting was also holding power lines, which portrayed the new technology and inventions that the Americans had brought over. In the lower portion of the painting, there are a few trains. The trains were a new, more efficient invention that allowed the settlers to travel faster with more people in each trip to the West. The trains also allowed more supplies to be brought over in shorter amounts of time. Wagons also allowed supplies to be brought over, like the ones towards the middle of the painting. Although wagons weren't nearly as efficient as trains, they still allowed supplies to be brought over to the West. The Native Americans in the bottom left corner are moving faster than settlers because they don't want them to travel westward, and all the new settlers kicked out all of the Native Americans from the new land that they settled. They did this because they believed that God wanted them to settle in the West. I chose this painting because I'm interested in manifest destiny and how it all worked, and how all inventions were formed. I am also interested in learning more about westward expansion. Manifest destiny is connected historically because if all the settlers hadn't traveled west when they did, the terrain of America would look a lot differently than it does today, and technology wouldn't be nearly as advanced as it is. I don't necessarily have a personal connection to the painting, but I thought manifest destiny was an exciting topic to learn more about, especially in fuller detail.